material balance and component balance. Okay, so this is very basic in unit operations that talks about continuous or simple distillation. We will never tackle the fractional distillation that used in petroleum industry. We will just be using the binary mixture distillation, the simplified one. Okay, so that it will be easy for us to understand the problem. Okay, I'll stop for the computation of the mass flow rate and the volumetric flow rate, right? So we need to convert this 2000 liter per hour of our volumetric flow rate as our feed mixture that will be going to the distillation unit so that it will agree to the units in our bottom product and overhead product or the distillate and the condensate. And we need to attain and achieve consistency somewhere along the way in our computation so that it helps us to simplify our solutions and equations somewhere along the way. So it's very easy for us to detect immediately the cancellation of units. Then bingo, we can easily get the desired answer. Something like that. Okay, you get the point? Now, let's convert 2000 liter per hour. But before that, I will be able to drink coffee so that my brain cells will be stimulated. Oh gosh. My brain cells need to be activated, it needs to be energized because I need my brain cells to work, function properly, to remember the acquired knowledge and stock knowledge I've gained in my BS Chemical Engineering study and Cebu Institute of Technology University. Wow. My alma mater. Natalia Bacalso, Cebu City. Wow. My gosh. This is again, I'm Singer Journal Voice, a YouTube content creator and a social media influencer. Wow. Talaga. Nakaloka influencer. But honestly, I'm a small YouTuber, okay? I will treat myself as a small YouTuber. Okay, guys? Like that. Oh my gosh! Again, coffee involves heat transfer process. The heat transfer through conduction, right, between liquids. Okay, like that. Liquid to gas, liquid to liquid, like this, but what you. There's some thermal equilibrium surrounding. Oh my gosh. So the process will be exothermic reaction, releasing the heat content to my room or to the environment. And the environment is my room, the surrounding. And then the system will be the glass of coffee. When you transfer the heat to the surrounding, so I can receive the heat, and then this glass of coffee will become cold later on. So there must be have a thermal equilibrium, meaning to say the cooler substance will be equal to the hot substance, okay? So the vapor will equal to the liquid in terms of temperature and hotness of the substance or something like that, diba? So basic chemistry na talaga siya. Heat transfer, if I will do the coffee. Okay, science is everyday life. Okay, and we must understand how it works in our daily alatul life. Wow, my gosh, daily alatul daw. In fairness, okay. Grabe kay kainit. I off the AC because it's very cold. I cannot sustain, my body core temperature cannot sustain to the temperature released by this AC equipment. So, my system cannot attain an equilibrium to the, temperature of the AC. Science again. Okay, so if my system temperature, body temperature cannot sustain, then it will yield me some, side effects. So that's why I must off the AC, something like that. Because I know it's very cold already, I cannot manage. My immune system cannot manage, something like that. Okay, so things like that is also a science. That's why I'm saying science is everyday life in a daily basis. Oh my gosh. And I thank you. May ganon, parang mga questions sa mga beauty pageants. Oh my gosh. Interview questions. Okay, and Q&A, question and answer portion. Question number 1. Ganun. Oh my gosh. Okay, going back to our solution proper. Okay, specific gravity of the feed mixture is equals to the density of the feed mixture over the density of water. Now, since we know the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius at the standard condition is 1 grams per milliliter. Okay, now our volumetric flow rate is 2000 liters per hour. So it's deal with a larger amount. So we must also deal with kilogram per hour, supposedly. Now, to establish parallelism, in English, parallelism meaning similarity, we need also to use the kilogram per cubic meter density to parallel the letter. Okay, high amount man siya. Why should I use the gram per ml? So, bingo, I will use the kilogram per cubic meter in density. Since we know that the kilogram per cubic meter density is 1000 at 4 degrees Celsius for pure substance water, then we need to substitute that here in this specific formula that I presented to you. Okay, substitute values directly without question. Okay, so do the math. Basic mathematics. Okay, density of the feed mixture would be equal to cross multiplication in mathematics algebra, or cross multiplication will do. Basic method in how to solve linear equations in algebra must be applied here. Okay, like that. So I have the density of the feed mixture will be equal to the specific gravity of the feed mixture multiplied by the density of water in terms of kilogram per cubic meter. Bingo! We can solve for the density of the feed mixture. Okay, the specific gravity of the feed mixture is 0.872. Guys, specific gravity is unitless, meaning there's no unit. If there is a unit, that is not a specific gravity. Because when you talk about ratio, it is unitless. And if you talk about ratio, guys, usually it has the same quantity in the numerator and in the denominator. Or else, it is a formula. Okay, I will give you a technique. When you speak about a ratio, ratio, it has the same quantity in the numerator and in the denominator. If you have density in the numerator, the denominator also is density. So that is ratio. So you have unitless, no unit. Okay, but if it is a formula, there is a variation in the quantity in the numerator and in the denominator. It's not the same. Okay, so that's the difference between the ratio and a basic formula. So if you question in the examination, explain between the basic formula and a ratio formula. Muna imong answer. Okay? So, 10% is a question. Differentiate and explain between a ratio formula and a basic formula in your own words. Charot. 20%. Okay? Like that. So, specific gravity of feed mixture. Nakasabot man ka, so pwede na siya irambol. Okay. So, specific gravity or feed mixture is equals to 0.872 times the density of water, 1,000 kilogram per cubic meter. Oh my gosh. 1,000. Nakaluka. 1,000 meter. Okay. That's a chemistry, guys. More on ano siya. More on 1 gram per ml. Ha, ay kalimot. Okay? Ang yang density, may anak siya chuba-chuchu. Okay? Anyhow, you can convert that. No problem. Okay? So, 1,000 kilogram per cubic meter. Akong purpose na sa akong pag-memorize para dali. Okay? So, 1,000 plus 0.872. So, move the decimal places into the, ano siya, into right. That's the rule, right? Oh no, to the left ba siya? Oh, to the left. Sorry. Okay. This means if I will never use the calculator, if you multiply the point something to a number that has 000, you move to the left. Okay? But if it is not a decimal point something chuchu, you will move to the right. So that will help a lot when you don't have the calculator. Okay? And that will only hold true if 000 exact number. But for not exact, don't use that concept, use the calculator if you have the calculator. Okay, but what I mean, if point something times this figure exact, then move na lang good siya to the left or to the right, ng ganun, ha? Okay, but I will use the calculator to be accurate, of course. Okay, though I know that principle already. Okay, so 0.872 times 1,000. Okay. Mubalik kita na sa elementary level. Okay, so 872 kilogram cubic meter. Okay. May number joke sa kung ano sa elementary. Pag grade 1 ako kasi kan honor ko. Wow. Nakakaloka. Nya pag grade 5 murag na ko ano lang ko 5th honor. Wow. So, consistent honor student. Parang ganun siya. So, 872 kg per cubic meter. Okay. Yung hadok ko maapsan. Charot! Basta mga mag-ima, mga honor student, ganing nga sa elementary. Lang kay do, mahadok maapsan, magtuon ka pag-ayok, maapsan ka na ba? No? Kinumdum ko na sa una. Sa high school. Yan, mula bolag point something, may kamot tayo ka na di ka maapsan ng anak. Ba? Okay? Nindot siya, kaya makakreate man siya ka ng knowledge. Healthy competition. Di ba? Hadlok ka maapsan. Matuon siya kapag ayaw eh. Wala lang siya quite to, gano'n. Kaya mo, ini ka ranking ba? Diba? Okay. So, go back na kaani okay. Mumjini may tabo. Wow. So, our density of feed mixture is equals to ano siya? 872 kilogram per cubic meter. So, naman ta guys, 872 kilogram per cubic meter. So, mamaya na itong density. So, we will go back to the basic formula. Density of the feed mixture is equal to the mass of the feed mixture over the density, the volume. Okay, like that, density and over V man siya. Okay, so density, mass over volume. Okay, na naman tayo density. Na nasa tayo volume. Okay nga, ang volume na to is treat 2,000 liter per hour as our volumetric flow rate is just the same. It will not matter because it will be cancelled out somewhere along the way, that time in the denominator. So let's substitute that also as a volume or volumetric. It doesn't matter, guys. Okay? So mass flow rate. Okay, rate man sa datong gipangita good. Okay? So mass flow rate is equals to density of the feed mixture over the volumetric flow rate of the feed. Okay, so 872 guys, kilogram per cubic meter times pila man to atong kuan? 2,000 liter man to, no? Okay, 2,000. Okay, 2,000 liter per hour. Now guys, because this is solved on the spot, did you not kalikayan guys nga inconsistency of unit? What you did not to you okay? I did not do it intentionally. Okay, so we have density is equals to mass over volume. And then, diba, density of the feed times the volumetric flow rate. Now, since I use the density na 1,000 kilogram cubic per meter of the water come for the formula in the specific gravity, right? Now, nagka-problema ta here because there's a mixing of the unit. So we have 872 kg per cubic meter ang tong density times 2,000 liter per hour. I-cancel na to guys. Na siya cubic meter, nasa siya liter. In this case, conversion will do. But kung nakibaw pa lang tadaan, mo use na kong density nga wala ang nag-involve og cubic meter, di ba? But nakalimot man ko nga liter per hour di atong volumetric flow rate. But anyway, because we know also how to convert, right? But my point is, to make it easy pala, on the start na, nigamit ng tag-density of water na 1 kg over liter. Because it's just equal to 1,000 kg per cubic meter ba yan, good siya. Okay? So standard condition at 4 degrees Celsius of the pure substance called water. Okay? So ano man na siya guys? The density of water at standard condition, 1 grams per ml or 1 gram lang siya, singular. Okay, not gram. Sorry, wrong grammar. 1 gram per cubic milliliter. Okay? 1,000 kilogram per cubic meter. 1 kilogram per 1 kilogram per liter. So, kini siyang tulo. Now, kung gi-use pa lang na ako ang kilogram per liter, makonvert na yun siya diretso because our volumetric flow rate in the problem is 2,000 liter an hour over hour baya siya. And then, ako magigamit ang 1,000 kilogram per cubic meter, I have no choice. I have to convert the cubic meter to liter because these are all quantities of volume. Okay? So, how can I convert this one? Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's do this. Okay. Mass flow rate, we don't have to convert a kilogram because we are trying to use the kilogram siya. Okay, so 872 times 2,000. So, how many liters in 1 cubic meter? Nandiyan na naman tayo. Okay, kaloka. Si bahala na. Okay, so 872 kilogram cubic meter. Dugay-dugay lang dyan ko no. Kung ako palang convert ng kilo, dali na kayo siya. Okay, sige lang. Okay, cubic meter is equals to, okay, 2,000 liter per hour. Since we know 1 liter is equal to 1,000 cubic centimeter. It's just the same 1,000 milliliter. Again, 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliter or 1,000 cubic centimeter. Okay, so I have to put that here. So arita sa cubic centimeter, kay cubic po ba ang meter? Okay, ana siya ba? Parallelism lang yun siya. Similarity. Okay, so 1,000 cubic centimeter is equal to 1 liter. Okay, 1 liter is equal to 1,000 cubic centimeter. Now, in here, we cannot cancel the cubic centimeter to cubic meter. Now, 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Okay, so that's the conversion factor. Very easy, right? Okay, so 1 meter, 100 centimeter. Now, since this is cubic, so raised to the power 3. Both of this will be raised to the power 3 because this is cubic. So you will say 1 meter raised to the power 3 and also 100 centimeter raised to the power 3. Both. This is the rule of algebra. Okay? Like this, mathematics, basic mathematics. Okay? Now, if we have cubic centimeter and we have also the cubic meter, you will cancel that out. Then, bingo. What will remain here is kilogram per hour na good siya ang mabili ni ining higayuna. Okay? So, atong perform the basic mathematical operation. Okay. Since the complicated one is in here that involves raised to the power 3, adto ka sa nag-raise to the power 3 first. Okay, so 100. Okay, 100 centimeter man siya. So raised to the power 3. So scientific calculator man siya. We should use the shift raised to the power 3 na. Okay, this is 1 million. Actually, we know that 1 million also, but I'll try to prove that in a calculator. Okay, so 1 million na siya. So it's gonna be 1 million cubic centimeter sa denominator. Right? So 1 million, okay, cubic centimeter na siya. Then 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter, you have to repeat that by itself 3 times because we see the power 3. So this is 1 cubic meter. Wala na siya ga-raise. So 1 cubic meter. So now, multiply that here so that we can easily cancel na talaga siya. So 1,000 cubic centimeter to the centimeter in the 1 million will be cancelled out. Cancel. Okay, so liter cancel also. And cubic meter will cancel also somewhere along the way. Chuba-chucho. Okay? Ganun ang metabo, guys. Okay? Now, in here, okay? So, makuha na nimo siya ang kilogram per hour. You know, guys? Ano metabo? Okay? So, cancel na siya. Mauna siya mahitabo karong higayon na. Okay? Kasama na to. Tangtangon ni na to ang mga kuan, mga units. Wala, di ko ganahan ang units yun eh. Substitute na yun kay maglibog yung ko. Kaloka. Okay? So, 872 kilogram per cubic meter. Okay, 100 centimeter, 1 meter cubic, 100 centimeter. So, cancels out na siya talaga. Okay, times, okay, like that. 1 kilogram, okay, ang atong volume density man siya, di ba? So, ang volume ato na siyang ibutang diri-ari. Okay. Okay, 2,000 liter. Okay, like that. 2,000 liter per hour. Okay, and 1 liter is equals to 1,000 cubic centimeter man siya. Okay, 1,000 cubic centimeter. Muna siya muna yung mabilin. Okay, ganun siya. So, i-multiply na mo siya. Okay, so, wait, I have to cancel out units na. I will show later on. Okay, para masabtan Jude. Okay, ganun siya. Okay. Volumetric. Okay, 2,000 liter per hour. And okay, then 1 liter is equals to 1,000 cubic centimeter. Okay, cancel. Okay. Now, di pa siya compatible guys ha kay napamantay yung meter ato pag yun na siyang balik. So 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter raised to the power 3. Okay, like that. So cancel muna na siya metabuo. Muna na siya. Okay, so 1 million. Okay, ang 100 raised to the power 3, 1 million man yun siya, di ba? You should be careful ha because if masayop kita anig usa, wala nga. Okay? So, muna siya. Okay? Memory in. And then later memory recall, right? Sa calculator. So, 872 times 2,000. Charot. Okay? Times 1,000. Okay? Divided by memory recall. Okay? Di ba ganon? So we have 1,744 kilogram per hour. Okay, 1,744 kilogram per hour. So this is now our mass flow rate sa atong feed mixture. This one. What's our main reason really is to convert it in the mass flow rate because the required is asking for the mass flow rate, not the volumetric flow rate. Okay, that's only the reason. Conversion na lang yun siya. But the same principles hold through. But it's easy to do that first because it will complicate somewhere along the way. That's why we need to convert first, di ba? Okay, so 1,744 is our feed. Asa naman ito itong drawing? We will atong isulod ang 1,744 kg per hour mass flow rate here in our distillation unit. Okay, feed is equals to 1,744 ano na siya? Kilogram per hour. Okay. Mass flow rate siya kay mass man ang numerator, hour ang denominator. So rate. Okay. Flow rate because the feed will move. Okay? Or else, if it will not move, there's no flow. Okay? You get the point? So F. So is equals to D plus W. No. Substitute the values na siya, overall material balance, equation 1. So since we have the feed here, 1,744 kg per hour, substitute that here in equation 1. So 1,744 is equals to the distillate plus the condensate. Okay? Equation 1. Okay. In our equation 1, 1,744 guys. Okay. Okay. Ma-useful niyo siya guys kung if you have a business of a distilled water, okay? So you will use this formula. For example, your business is all about drinking water, you will use this distillation column, okay, in a manually manner, in a manner na sayon ra siya i-manage. Dili daghan imong product ba, gamay ra siya imong product pero mag-produce lang gyapon ta siya og distilled water. So, magamit din mo siya nga equation sa business. Okay? So, 1,744 is equals to distillate plus W is equals to 1. Ano siya? Equation 1. Now, guys, i-substitute po niyo siya sa imong component balance. So, equation 2. Equation 2 here, copy only, and then we cannot paste because this is not computer. Okay? Copy paste sana, di ba? Okay, so F feed equation 2 feed 1744. Okay, and then Z is the mole fraction of benzene, which is mass fraction na talaga siya. Nga, dire guys 45% of benzene. Okay, so this is 0.45 automatically. So, Sotero na yung nag-automatic na 0.45. Because this is mass percent. Okay? So, percentage by mass. Mass of solute over the mass of the solution. So, this gonna be 0.45. Okay, kay percent man ang gigiven. Algebra ra gyapon, oy, ni dito ko ba? Okay? So that is times 0.45 na siya talaga. Okay? So 0.45. Di lang na ako issue kasi yun naman kayo, right? Percentage by mass. Okay, the mass of solute over the mass of solution. Ang solute na to ang benzene. Ang ana ra gud general chemistry lecture. Okay? So it's equals to dxd plus wxw. Now, our distillate, wag yung takabaw, no? Di man gihatag. We don't know the distillate man siya. Okay? In which, most of that gi-required, right? Asa naman itong required? Uy, asa naman itong papel? Okay. Wala man siya gipangita ang distillate. Kinalanon sa dyan na to. Later on, naama siya sa formula. Okay? Anyway. Okay, so distillate times XD. Ano ra gud na siya? Ba atong XD sa distillate? Go back. Okay, distillate, go to the problem in our data. 95 mole percent of the bottom, like that. And product stream leaving at the top of the column. Overhead product contains, naa siya. Overhead product man siya. So that is, this is distillate. Okay? So, 95%. Anong ato man automatic nga distillate na siya? Okay, because given-mention na siya sa problem. Raw benzene. Sorry, nagita ko glisod. Okay, so 0.95 mole percent of the benzene in the overall product. Okay? So, guys, ang atong nakakaloka, no, di ba? Ang atong mass fraction na supposed to be in the distillate, ang gihatag mole fraction. So, i-convert na po na to. Let's convert the mole fraction to mass fraction to agree all units. Because all of them are using mass fraction, then there's no reason you will use mole fraction in the distillate. Right? This is the rule in any problem solving. You need to parallel all the quantities really before going further. Very important technique. Okay? So, mole percent convert to mass percent. Or percentage by mole to percentage by mass. Pwede rin kung ibali-bali ni mo good. Mole percent, mass percent, or percentage by mass, o mole percent, percentage by mole. English naman na siya, di ba? Ibali-bali ni mo siya. Of course, if you treat a percentage, so by mass, okay, imo man gi-describe. Right? Whereas kung hindi na ka mo describe, ano na ka dito? Mole percent, mass percent. Okay? Klaro na ka siya. I-mention naman ni mo siya directly. Okay? You will just put by because giuna naman ni mo ang percentage. So, percentage by mass. Percentage by mole in English. Okay? So, if you don't do that, if you want to go directly, then just say mole percent, mass percent. Ni-describe na kada, nakibaw na ka nga mole, kaya nag-una man siya pagsuwat ni mo. Okay? You got the point? Muna siya ang relevance. Okay? So, we are just using here mole percent and mass percent because I don't want to put by in the paper. BY ba? BY. Preposition in English, right? On, under, okay? That's preposition. right? Underneath, below, on, like that, with, by, like that, from, to. Those are prepositions in English used to describe the location, the possession, like that. Okay? So, we need also to understand small English. Okay? Like that. So, it's gonna be, so our mole percent here is 95 mole percent sa benzene in the distillate. Now, ato siyang i-break down sa distillate. Now, our 95 mole percent is the benzene. Okay. 95 mole percent is the benzene. Okay. Okay. Since we know there is also toluene because this is a binary mixture, automatically, without question, our toluene is 5 mole percent. Okay, equal to 100%, just like in singing contest. Okay. Timing, 20%, voice quality, 30%, diction, 15%. Most siya diri ari sa mga kuan sa physical chemical separation process, a total of 100% also. Okay, in criteria in judging, right? In beauty pageant, singing contest, as long as when you total that out, it will become 100%. Just like also here in the physical and chemical separation process in unit operation. When you talk about mass percent, mole percent, volume percent, it's just the same story, a total of 100%. Ang ganon. So, if giving ang benzene, 95 mole percent, so 5 mole percent ang tuluene. Okay? Automatically, without question. So, 5 mole percent, okay, ang tuluene. Let's just put T, okay, for tuluene. Wow. Kasi formula sa tuluene. Okay? It's not our concern, right? Okay? So, later na lang na siya. Okay, it's equals to 100%. 100 mole percent. Okay? So, now we can say, guys, Z, okay, Z benzene. So, let's put ZB as our nomenclature so that we can understand further that we refer that as a benzene. So, kay Z man ang atong mole fraction sa let's say X lang siya to be consistent. X ang distillate. Actually, pwede naman kung sa oy. Kung sa nakasabot lang ka. So, D times XD. Okay? So, our distillate, so XD lang yun siya ha. So, meaning to say, XDB. Meaning to say, mole fraction of the distillate benzene, muna siyang DB. So, XDB will be the benzene. Okay? XDB is equals to, okay? So, kani siya, mahimo na siyang 0.95 in terms of mole fraction. So, 0.95. Okay? So, 0.95 siya. Okay? In terms of mole fraction. Okay? And then, ang our XDT, okay, distillate toluene. So, XDT is equals to 0.05 mole. O mole fraction siya without unit. Okay? Na muna siya. Okay, mole fraction. Ano tayo mole fraction nga? 0.05 sa toluene. Okay, and nasa tayo 0.95 sa, the benzene. Now guys, mass fraction ba natong gipangayong sa na to pagbuhat karon? Charot. Now, we need to get the number of moles. You get the point? So our basis of calculation for this, for the conversion into mass, okay, mass fraction, now we use the 100 moles. Okay? Mo gina siya per me, 100 moles, 100 grams, like that. Okay? So, mo gina siya ang standard ng mga basis of calculation. Ha, edyo karon limti, basta mga percent, chupa-chucho. Okay? So, muna siya. So, if I will have the 100 moles as our basis of calculation, so I have to say, so, mole percent of benzene. Guys, this is a spoon feed discussion. Spoon feed. So, mole percent, okay, mole percent of benzene. Okay, this one. So, it's equal to mole of benzene. Okay, mole of benzene over mole of solution or mixture, which is basically mole of benzene plus mole of toluene. Okay, ganon ang mahitabo. Mole of benzene plus mole of toluene. Okay, so that we can understand really. Okay. Now guys, since that we are asked by the mole, no choice, ako siyang kwaon ang molecular weight sa tuluin. You get to understand? I will get the molecular weight or the molar mass of each because i-convert man ako siyang mass. Okay? So that's the time we apply the molar mass formula that I taught you 1 month ago. If we speak about molar mass, the numerator will be the mass, the denominator will be the mole. So since naman tayo mga mole diri, so makuan din siya, makompatible din siya. Okay? So how can we do that? Okay, atong give tanan in terms of molecular weight. Okay? Na may molecular weight nga mulubog. Okay? So lita makaingon nga 100 lang gihapon. You got the point? Okay, kaya ang molar involved man siya molecular weight, guys. And then you can never use the 100 mole na nga solution. You get the point? Mura gina difference. Okay? So now, mole of benzene, you will convert that to the mass na siya. So we will multiply that by the molecular weight of the benzene. So, multiply siya or divide. It depends kung makancel siya ang mole. Imo na siyang i-analyze. Kung unsa siya ang makancel mo ay mahabilin. So imong ituwad-tuwad kung asa ra jud siya ang makancel. Okay, mo na siya ang rule or else it will never cancel. So there's no purpose at all. So if we try to multiply the mole to the molecular weight, unsa imong habilin? Let's say ang unit sa molecular weight it is permanently gram per mole. So if you multiply the mole from gram per mole, automatically makancel yun siya ang mole, mas nagyudayon siya. Okay, so meaning to say, mole of benzene times the molecular weight of the benzene so that we have the mass of the benzene. Ganon. So times molecular weight of the benzene. Okay? Para masabtan yun na to tukion. Tagsa-tagsa. Di na to idiretso kay maglibog ang students. Wow. Ganon. Yes, because ni-suffer po ba ako when I was a student. So I need also to have clarity na masabtan po sa mga younger generation nga nung naing ana siya. Kilisod ba kayo, I felt that before. Wa jud ko kasabot kaayo. Then, oh my gosh, di ba? So I need to transmit my knowledge to the younger generation. It's gonna be like that, the simpler way of understanding. Okay? Like that. So molecular weight is equal to C6H6. And now guys, tagsa-tagsaan po nimo ang denominator. You do individually of the denominator. Also since we have now in the numerator, the same na kopyahon din mo sa ubos. Copy the numerator, ibutang, put that in the denominator kasi same siya. Okay, so mole of benzene times the molecular weight of benzene. Okay? Now guys, if I will put close and open parentheses in mathematics, that is multiplication. Okay? Or we put asterisk, that's multiplication. If we put small letter x, that's also multiplication. If we combine the two, having the period on the center, that's also multiplication. Okay, again, if we put close and open parentheses, we partner the two side by side, that is multiplication. If we put small letter x, we put the quantity side by side, that's also multiplication. When you put that or period, and you put the quantity side by side, that's also multiplication. Now, your identification of multiplication is 3. A dot and close open parentheses and the small letter x. And there is also another one in computer and in laptop, asterisk. Asterisk also would mean multiplication if you put side by side the quantity. So there are 4 identification. When can we say that is involving a multiplication operation? An asterisk, a period or a dot, and a close and open parentheses, or just putting that side by side, okay, without any symbol, or putting that period in the middle, the side by side. So that is multiplication. Okay, so that you will understand really, guys, what is multiplication all about. Okay, ganon. So that to put a close and open parentheses na katong pinagahi. Pinagahi, hindi mo ang term. You need to put a close open parenthesis nga lain siya nga version na pina-vertical ba. Kinam sa close and open parenthesis na pinabow, curve. We should also have the close and open parenthesis na katong pinagahi. Ngayong ani na pina-vertical. Ngayong ani na yan siya close open parenthesis na gamiton. Right? There are two versions of close and open parentheses. We have the curve and we have the vertical position. Okay? Akong gitawag na siyang pinagahi. Para makasabot ko when I was in college ba. Okay? So plus. So na naman tayo mole of toluene, i-multiply sa mo sa molecular weight of toluene. So times, okay, the molecular weight of toluene. Ganon. So therefore, we can say mole of toluene times the molecular weight of the toluene. Ganon. So muna na siya. So these are the formulas. Again, mole of benzene times the molecular weight of benzene, the numerator, over the denominator that composed of the same numerator of benzene plus the mole of toluene times the molecular weight of toluene. So this is a spoon feeding discussion. Okay? Like that, so that we can obtain now that is the mole percent. Okay, now you use that. Now, I have the mole of the benzene basing the 100 mole basis of calculation directly, which is the 95 mole. Okay? Because as I told you, the mole will never consider the molecular weight. The basis of calculation only, which is 100 mole. Directly without question. So we have 95 mole. So substitute the 95 mole here later. Okay, so mole percent. Ganun, di ba? Kaloka. Or, ano na siya? Mass fraction na siya. Because nag-involve na tag molecular weight. Okay? So, mass fraction, okay? Mass fraction, okay? Of benzene. Okay, which is XDB. Ganon. XDB lang siya. Pareho lang ginato siya kaya para dito malibog. So, XDB, okay, is equal to the mole of benzene nga 95 mole. Diretso na lang ta kay kapoy na kayo explain. So, 95 moles. Sa yung rabi kaayo. So, 95 moles, okay? Okay? Times the molecular weight of benzene. Sir, we don't know the molecular weight of benzene. So, calculate that one by one. So, the atomic mass or atomic weight of hydrogen is 1.008. And the atomic weight of carbon is just 12. Okay, so multiply by 6. And also the hydrogen. And bingo, we can have the molecular weight of benzene, which is around 78.408. But I have to review first. Ako lang gi-memorize. Okay, so ako man gi-memorize ang mga common when I was in high school. Okay? The atomic was or atomic weight and atomic mass sa mga common elements. Sa high school pa lang gi-memorize na ako daan. Okay? So, that's why wako maglisod sa college sa mga molecular weights except to those not common. Katong mga laurentium, strontium, polonium, katong mga radioactive materials, katong actinide series family and the lanthanide series in the periodic table. I never memorized that. But the most common in the transition metals and the gases there somewhere along the way, okay, I memorized a bit. And also a little bit also with the inert gases. Okay, inert gases katong mga neon, xenon, krypton, argon, noble gases ba? Okay, the last shall we say family, right? Family. Vertical yung family, horizontal yung period sa periodic table. You get the point? And the non-metals will be on the right, metals will be on the left. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay? So that's what I remembered. Kakaloka. Okay, so 95 moles, molecular weight of benzene at na siyang i-solve negative class. Let's solve individually. Okay, 6. Oh my gosh! Nakakaloka. 6 times 12 is equals to 72. Oh my gosh. 72. Then i-plus pa na to ang hydrogen, no? So 72. So hydrogen 6 times 1.008. 1008. Maulay test element ang hydrogen because it has only an atomic mass of 1.008. The lightest element in the universe is hydrogen. Okay, pinakagaan sa tibuok planeta or sa tibuok universe ang hydrogen. Okay, second ang helium. Okay, like that. So it will goes in the theory questions in the examination you can answer. Huh? What is the lightest element in the universe? Your answer will be hydrogen. Okay? Because the molecular weight is only 1.008, okay, grams per atom. Okay? Like that. Okay? So 1.008 times 6 is equals to, i-memorize na yun na nyo, para mukuan jud mo, pasar jud mo, 6.048 is equals to plus 72 is equals to 78.048. Sometimes ako sang memoryahan na jud ako tanan. Sometimes sa tanan compound sa una college ko, dili na ko magtagsa-tagsa og molecular, di na sa kumutan og handbook. When I was in college, really. I will just memorize completely the compound molecular weight. Sa common, sodium chloride, sucrose. Ako na siyang gimemorize sa mga common ang kay mga nasa tong kitchen. Vinegar, ganun. Mura ko nabuang ato Okay, so alcohol, ethyl alcohol. Di na ako magtatag sa carbon, di na ako maging ana. Munang paspas kay kumusod sa katong mga kunkuan, masensayon ra. Kaloka. Okay? Nya dito na ako na-focus sa mga lisod-lisod. Dako kay kung tayo mo balik sa mga lisod-lisod. Anto sa makuha sa dako gamay kay nakuha naman ako ang uban dali raman. Okay? Whereas kung dili man gud mo i-memorize ang mga common molecular weight, mga multi biya ka kita sa saon pa man nimo mutang pa jud ka sa handbook, pakli biya ka sa handbook. It will take time. The Peri Chemical Engineer's Handbook na dito tanan, way problema. Pero mutanaw-tanaw pa manggod ka. Okay? It will take time, right? Whereas kung imong gi-memorized ang mga common na jud kaayo, plus anang water. Okay? Nakibaw biya ka nga kuan na siya 18.016 grams mol. Nya tan-awon pa din ani mo sa handbook. You got the point? Okay? Whereas sucrose 180 point some molecular weight. Natanawon pa gyud din ani mo sa handbook. Nakibaw naman ka nga ang common ra kay ng asukar sa atong kitchen. I-memorize na lang lagi na mga common jud kay nasa atong kitchen. Okay? Table salt, sugar, vinegar. Okay? Ethanol. Ethanol is common also because antiseptic solvent sa mga wound. Memorize din ang molecular weight, pero di na ka maglisod dito sa mga mga problem na mag-involve o molecular weight sa ethanol. Dali ra kay ka makakuan. Ay nagtatatag sa aoy, ay nang sige pakli. Okay? So, chemical engineering students who will take a board examination this coming October, memorize the most basic molecular weights sa kanang mga sayon ra jud kayo. Water, ethyl alcohol, air, table salt, vinegar, like that. I-apila lang ascorbic acid. Kanang ascorbic acid or vitamin C molecular weight. Apila lang na siya kanang mga common na jud kay mga citric acid. Okay, kanang acids na mga common. Citric acid, acetic acid is a vinegar, right? Ascorbic acid is vitamin C. Okay? Citric acid coming pang citrus fruits. I-memorize ang molecular sa citric acid pud ha. Okay? Dapat makabaw ka sa molecular formula, of course. Okay, kanang mga dali ra jud kaayo. If you want ka ng imos ng computer ng mga oil, i-memorize na lang po itong stearic acid. Wow. Stearic acid molecular weight sa kanang mga fats, sa mga cholesterol. Okay? Di ba? Kung taas imong cholesterol, meaning taas imong stearic acid. Got the point? Okay? Ganun siya. So mga common, i-memorize ko para madali ra ka. Okay? So 78.048 grams per mole ang water. Okay? And then, ang chuluin, manin ako gimemorize sa una, lisod naman siya, Wow. Kaloka. Pero depende rin ko naman sa mga ganahan sa memorize good. Okay? I'm just suggesting and recommending. It is not a forced, but it is helpful. Okay? So, mag-Google search ko sa tuluin, guys. Yung wadyo na ako, okay! Naka-remember na ako na sa akong brain cells. 92.14. Wow. Kajon, oy? Yes. Okay. Ganahan mo kong memorization. Okay, tuluin. Okay, tuluin is equals to 92.14 grams per ml. Di ba? Okay. So, 95, pilit yun siya sa akong brain cells. Okay, so 95 moles times the molecular weight of benzene, 78. Okay. Okay, 0.48 gram per mole. Cancel the mole. Ang mabilin gram. Right? Then moles, again, kopyahan mo siya, kaya parihara man siya ang benzene, ibutang sa ubos na yun. Okay? So 95, 78.048, i-plus mo ang tuluin, nga 92.14, ang tuluin na to guys, kay 0.05 times 100, pila siya? 5 no? automatic. Kaya naman tayo 95 mole. So 5 na yun, 100 mole. So 5 mole of toluene. Multiply the molecular weight of toluene, which is 92.14 based on my memory. Okay. Wala na ko sa kapoy na kayo. Okay. So mole of solution is grams of solution na siya. Okay, mass fraction man. Okay, so 95 times 78.048 is equal to 7,414.56. Later, we will be looking to the real answer. This is Chemical Engineering Board Exam, May 1996. Okay, later we will look for the answer because I did not solve this, okay, before. Okay, let's look. Correct, I'm wrong. Like that's challenging siya. Okay, so 74104.56. Amo ni siya may tabo karon. Okay? And then kopyahan nimo sa ubos 7414.56. Guys, oy, grabe na kinakakaloka. Okay, be patient gyud. Mao gyud na akong ikatambag niyo. Be patient. Okay? 7,404.56 over 7,400.56 plus ang tuluin kay 5 times. Mag-extra careful ka. Ana-ana ra siya. Okay? Extra careful in your problem-solving solution. And then plus theory. Then you will pass. Okay? So 5 times 92.14 is equals to 400, charot, 460.7. Okay, makamatay yun ang chemical engineering, guys. Lisod yun siya. Okay, so 7,414.56 plus, muna, ng kasagaran yun, yun magjuwa-jowa sa college. Okay, naman sa'yo magjuwa-jowa, pero nindot yun ang juwa-jowa, kay mufocus yun ka. Okay, get the point? Muna yung natabo. Okay. Okay. So if you want to take chemical engineering, avoid girlfriends and boyfriends because it's very difficult to imagine solving the behavior of the molecules. Okay, and there's a lot of memorization. Okay. I'm not telling to all, but mostly who will fail, katong mga kuan, naguyab-uyab. Okay? So 7,000. Uy, kuan ra na ha, sa ako na observation na di ni siya ingon nga this is not really true based on survey. Okay, not only on not reality na oy mao gyud na siya. Based on my actual survey, those who have girlfriends and boyfriends in taking up chemical engineering because it can consume their time, right? So did not pass. Okay? I did not also mean that kinaaman sa mga naguyab-uyab, nahagbong mansad siya. Okay? But majority man akong giingon. Okay? In our case lang po sa CIT. Something like that. I don't know with other schools. Okay? I'm only using probability and statistics here. I'm not using the exact value or, you know what I mean? Because we cannot judge. Okay? But this is only based on probability and statistics. Okay? I may be wrong, I may be correct. Okay? Disclaimer. Okay? But this is based only in my actual survey, in my own personal confession, in my environment before. Okay? Okay, basta inyo kong awayon. Okay? Mingon din mo, di ba na tinuod? Depende rin na sa tao lagi, pero factor ba? You know what I mean? Or else we don't have probability and statistics subject. Mabit ang purpose sa probability and statistics project in mathematics. We need to do sampling and survey so that we can, what is the probability of this? Diba? Okay, there's no exact something ba? Okay, 414.56 plus, okay, 0.7. Oh, bingo. 78. Uy, nakakaloka. 7875.26, 7414.56. Guys, by the way, thank you kayo sa supporters. My revenue is rising already. Oh my gosh. Nanakoy pang kapi. Okay. So 7414. Diba? Akong imagine ba, oh my gosh, wag yung mahatag na ko ani nga amount every month. Okay? Di man jud na ako, at least, okay, di man siya dako, it's not a big revenue, but considering nobody will give me that kind of amount, that will be okay. It will be an additional income, right? Okay? But I don't want to withdraw. Okay, 7, 8. Maybe I will withdraw my revenue after 5 years so that it will be accumulated higher amount na siya talaga. Okay? 78.75.26 is equals to like this. Kapag kayo, very tiresome, you know, to become a YT YouTube content creator. You need to be committed. You need to have passion like that. Because if you don't have to do the vloggings, then you don't have also revenue, right? Because me, I'm working more on the videos. I'm not working more on the views because I'm not popular. I'm not famous. I'm not celebrity. I'm not an actor. I'm not a professional singer, whatever. I'm not a commercial product endorser. I'm just an ordinary individual. Okay, so it is expected that I don't have larger viewers. So what I did, I make a lot of videos so that I can cover up to raise my revenues, something like that. Okay. So, so if I am if my videos will be trending, I don't have to do this because if your video become trending, it will become an on-the-spot high revenue. But I am not like that, okay? That's why it's really, hard work. 156 divided by 7, 8. And somebody will say, oh my gosh, what's happening? He's talking by himself. It's just like doing a monologue inside a room. Okay, but I have the purpose of this and I'm very happy. Then it's all right, right? Okay, I have the purpose in doing this. Okay, or else it will be nothing if there's no objective. Okay, divide times 100 siya, guys. O mo lagi siya nahitabo. So, kuan siya, guys? 94.15. Okay, since this is mass fraction, guys, of benzene, so you have to divide this pa by 100. So this is 0.9415 xdb of the benzene. So xdb is equals to 0.9415 xdb. Mass fraction na ni siya, guys, ha? 0.945 mass fraction. Okay? Kaya ang gihatag mo sa problem, syukoy kaayo, mole percent. Iya pa yung gilain. Maro kayong board exam, no? Nga na siya, really. Nakakaloka. Ya, mag-expect na ba yan ang mga kuan? Sama na kung mag-expect na yun ko na mo na siya. Di ba na masayop din ko. Okay? So, xdb is equals to 0.9415. Muna na tabo. Okay? DB, muna na siya itong mass fraction sa benzene. We should not compute the tuluwin na, kaya kanang di man siya tuluwin is not important, magudiri-ari. Ang benzene man ang importante. Okay, so, na natin XDB. We should go back to our overall material balance or the component material balance. Because we have now already the mass fraction of benzene. The main purpose of computing this, guys, because the problem is the mole percent, not mass percent. Okay? So to be consistent, use the mass percent. Also, when you distillate, stang bubuya. Okay? Muna siya. Okay na naman ta diri, no? So isuda yun na nato siya diri sa atong component material balance. So F times Z. Oh, ganon. So 1744. Dari. D. Now, atong distillate, kay kuan naman siya, no? Muna naman siya netabo, 0.9415. Okay, 0.9415. Yung atong W, bottom product, wala pa gyapon ta. Yung naman ta, XW diri siguro. Okay, ato sa analysis. Okay, stream, product stream leaving at the top of the column overhead. Okay, the bottom product stream, this is the condensate. Okay, product stream, bottom man siya. Okay, contains 8% by mass. Ay, salamat. Mass percent ang gihatag. So, no need to convert. Okay, hindi siya mole. So, dito na siya. 0.08 times the W. Okay? That's very clear. Madugay lang ta guys, it will take a long time kung if the fraction is not the same. Because we need to convert. But if it is the same all throughout, then bingo, we don't have to worry. We have to substitute directly. Okay? So this is from equation 2. And guys, there's some value of the D and that W. And in our equation 1 also, where's our equation 1? So there's involvement of dW. What will happen now? Equation 1 involves dW, and equation 2 involves dW. Actually, we can solve for dW for this, automatically without question. This is linear equation with two variables. Linear meaning no exponent. Okay, and D is our variable, just like X and Y in algebra. Okay, always like that, right? X and Y, a polynomial, monomial, trinomial, like that. So in here, linear equation using another variable, which is capital D, W, and capital F. Okay, something like that. It's just the same in algebra. Linear equation na good siya, guys, with exponent. Okay? So unyara na siya. Kiba na ko ta, masolve na good na siya. Okay? Now, let's go to the bottom. Ato pa itong tanang mga conditions. Technique po din na siya. The last technique, guys, is to consider the conditions and parameters. So, at a review. Technique in problem solving first, you have to put what is being asked, what are being asked. Number 2, put the data and given. Number 3, you have to illustrate or drawing for easy understanding. Number 4, we need to have an appropriate and suitable formula applicable to those concepts. Number 5 pala guys, take into consideration the conditions on the problem. Conditions, assumptions, and parameters. 5 steps in solving problems. And you have to follow this 5 formally so that chance is you have a great scores in future examinations. Okay? Like that. Because not all questions in future examinations are difficult really. It's always average, above average, and a little bit difficult. Only our mind says that it's difficult. Our perception only sometimes, okay, matters. Okay? Like that. Because nangahadlok na tadaan bang daghan jud kay siya kuan, pero if you try to go deeper makuha ra siya. Okay? I'm not saying perfect, at least. Okay? Or else, a lot of top-notchers na if perfect, right? So, maybe, di yun na tumakwa tanan, okay? So, that's my point. Okay? So, go back to the condition. Okay, now. So, here, the volumetric flow rate of the feed stream is 200 liter per hour and the specific gravity of the feed mixture is 0.72. Guys, tanawa ra gyud ninyo ang kuan, ang statement here. Okay, going back ha. Atong sabton. Tagsa-tagsaon na to. English naman gyud comprehension. Okay? We are using now English comprehension. A product stream leaving at the top of the column overhead product contains 95 mole %. Okay, na mas fraction na siya. And the B bottom product stream, okay, this is the condensate, contains 8% mass of the benzene feed. Kalibog na nasa si feed dire-ari. So na to pagbuhat ni Amy. Okay. Anapalo ka. So 8% mass of the benzene feed. Okay, this is a special condition. So 8%, though this is also the bottom X. Let me stop there. Maybe this is something like, right? Another assumption. So 8% of mass, chararat, of benzene feed laoy to the column. Kaloka. Okay. What do you mean by this? 8% by mass of benzene feed to the column. Okay, but this is on the bottom product. Meaning to say, the bottom product also contains still the feed a little bit. Something like that. So, algebra again. Algebra, mathematics. We will remember the interest topic. Interest in P is equals to interest rate times time in algebra. Or discount, profit, like this. And then there's a lot of, or the clock problem. Clock problem, age problem. You know that one? Sa algebra, alat, right? Clock problem, determining the time, what will be the time at the right angle, di ba? Na yung ana. And then, katusang mga proportion nga mo, trabaho si Peter, unsang oras na trabaho silang duha, pila ka oras, yung ana ba? Muna ako na hinumduman ha, karong on the spot. And then, unsa pa, okay, alat, age problem. If Rita is 10 years younger than Kuan, Peter, what is the age of Peter and what is the age of Lita? Mga ganon. So, in algebra, there are techniques for that. Okay? So now, let's use that here in our distillation. Kaloka. Okay? So, 8% mass of benzene. Now, let's remember the basic in algebra. Okay. If we mean equal, in English, that is as. I will write this identification. Okay? So that you will become an engineer. Charot. Identification. Okay. Between English versus mathematics. Okay? How to apply. Link English from mathematics or mathematics to English like this. So identification. Okay. Is. This is a linking verb in English, right? Linking verb, singular linking verb, and are is a plural linking verb. For example, June is singing a song, like that. So is the linking verb from singing. The verb there is singing, and then is the linking verb. This is the tool to link with singing, because singing is ing form. Right? So, for example, Lita and Sotero are singing, meaning plural. Are also is equal. So, equal in mathematics, to underline. Right? So, this is to underline, like this. So, this is equal. So it helps a lot in problems because there's a lot of equalities in problems, especially in the law of conservation of mass, law of conservation of energy, equimolar flow, equilibrium, steady state flow, like this. Okay, and you have to memorize the concept for that. Okay, like this is equal. Now, of, because it's 8% mass of benzene feed. So of is multiply. Okay? Of in mathematics. Of is multiply. Okay? So equals is S, of is multiply. Right? So by this simple alone conversion from English to mathematics, mathematics to English, we can apply that here in chemical engineering separation processes basic formula. Because we cannot understand this in this term and condition here. A bottom product stream contain 8% mass of the benzene feed to the column. What's this? Right? So we need to break it up by having straightforward or direct to the point understanding na mo ni siya mga nomenclature. Now we will write one by one. 8% is 0.08. Okay? 0.08. What is of? Times. Okay. So 0.08 times. Okay. Benzene. Pila man atong feed sa benzene? Di ba nakuha na nato ang 1,744 times 1,744. Okay? Mangingani siya, makatabang yun siya guys, ha? To solve problem. Okay? Benzene. Feed. Kigi-mention man niya ang feed. Actually, sa normal distillation, wala ingani guys. Condition na niya siya nga gihatag. Murag gisukod ra ka ba nga nakamuan ba gito nimo ang algebra? Kinama siya of the feed. So, gamito nimo ang value sa feed, ang mass flow rate sa feed. Actually, you don't have to think for the feed kung ano nata sa buto manggod. But the problem iya mo yung gisumpot dayon gyud diya ang kuan ba. 8% mass fraction of benzene feed manggod ang butang sa butong product. Man tagwa siya ni ingon feed, ingon man siya feed. So, imong i-account ang mass flow rate pa sa feed by using algebra concept versus English. Okay, so 0.08 times 0.744 of man. Okay, so benzene feed, so 1744. Okay, to the column. Now, ang benzene na sa gitay mole fraction nga 0.08. And we know that also sa feed na sa tay 0.45 nga mole fraction. Imo sa siyang i-appeal. Kay ang kani siyang 1744 mo carry message siya sa component value sa feed, which is 0.45. Here. Kay of man. Okay? So, i-appeal nimo ang component balance. Kay general naman ni siya. kay tibuok man gid siya nga bottom product. Tibuok. Okay? So i-apply mo ang component. Okay? So 0.08 times 1774 times 0.45 mass percent sa benzene imong gi-feed. Mao na siya imong bottom product. Okay? Nakakuha ka? So automatic din nimo nga mao na nimong bottom product na condensate. Kay totality mo gud feed mixture, totality. Diba? Analysis yung matter yun siya, no? Okay? So, 0.45, but lisod yun ni siya. Okay? That's why I do a rigid research for this also. Okay, so 0.45. Okay. Before solving this, guys, I really read all the concepts about distillation, ha? Kasi miingon mo nga, ako yung siyang gikuan, ako na siyang gisoldaan, akong gistadihan ang overall concept sa distillation, including the equations, the formulas, the concepts, the theories, ganon. Before I do this vlog, aside from my stock knowledge being a chemical engineer, and also my acquired knowledge of being a chemical engineer, I still read and researched the overall concept of distillation, formulas and equations before having this problem solving. Okay? Because it's not easy. Okay? If I don't refresh, it's not easy to, you know that. Okay? This one. So 0.08 times 1744 times 0.45, or else I am a magna cum laude. Even if you are a magna cum laude, you have still to review, right? Okay, like this. Okay, so 0.08 times 1744, like this. Okay, times 0.45. Mo na ni siya, guys, ang atong bottom product is 62.8 kilogram per hour. Wow, bingo! Na natay bottom product. Wow. So makatabang ba ni diri ari? O makatabang jud siya. Wow. Diri ari okay naman ta sa equation 1 anam tay bottom product nga W. Okay, so ang atong component para sa asa man to oy. Kaloka. So na naman gyud tay bottom no makuha na gyud nato siya. So asa man ta tong bottom product condensate. Naloka na wala siya. Mahuman na gyud ta ani. Mudaog na gyud ta ani, guys. Okay? O drao sa component balance. Wow, bongacious. Like that. So, isolve na to ang component balance na nag-involve siya component, ha? Unahon na to siya. Since we know also, let's try to take into account all the possibilities here. Okay? Because we don't know yet pa. Okay? So, first possibility, anyway, this is not time limited, right? This is not an examination. Okay, so first possibility, we need to compute the distillate in terms of overall material balance. Equation 1. Kaya na naman tayo W. Makuha din na ito ang distillate, right? Okay. Now, we will use also equation number 2 to compute for distillate having the component balance. Let's say, kung pareho ba siyang answer. Okay? Now, we try first the component. Okay? Malingaw mo ko sa component na yung mga mole fraction, mass fraction, or else naghago-hago ata sa mass fractions. Okay? So, let's solve for component balance to compute for the distillate. Okay. Substitute directly without question and perform the basic mathematical operation. Because this is linear equation, no exponent. Okay? Like that. So, 1744 times 0.45 is equal to 784.8. Nakakaloka. Okay? So, distillate is equal to 0.9415 D. Okay? Plus, bottom product na nakuha na to by this assumption. So, bottom product na nisagol-sagol siya dito sa ano. Okay? This is 62.8. Okay? Muna siya ang kuan, Chemical Engineering Board Examination, Distillation 1996, May 1996. Okay? So, there's a lot of problems there. I don't have to do everything, right? Okay? Mabuang jud ko kung akong buhaton. Okay? So, I am working by ya. Okay? So, nabuang lang gani ko, mamauna ni Char. Di pa na siya pinakalisod, right? So, W is equal to 62.8. Ibutang na to diri. Let's substitute the value of the bottom product, which is W, or the condensate. Okay, 62.8. Okay, times 0.0.8. Ganon. So, linear equation solve for the value of the bongga. So, you can solve now. Okay, 62 point. Tarungon jud nimo guys nga, ang imong gi-substitute mao dito siya ha. Kay kung mag-accept lang kang gamay wala na. Okay? Marong na jud ka. So 62.8 times 0.08 is equals to wala uy nakakaloka. 62.8 times 0.08 gamay lagi ka siya. Wait. No problem. That's why we need to solve this, right? So 5.04 so 24 ganon siya plus 0.9415D is equals to 784.8. So solve for the value of the transposed. Wow. 784.8 minus 5.024 is equals to divided by 0.941. We have a distillate of 828.7. 828.7 distillate in kilogram per hour. So we have now the distillate, D, and we have all the bottom is it. But we have also equation number 1 that involves D and W. Let's use overall material balance 1 to prove that we are correct. 1744 is equals to distillate plus the bottom product. Or let's compute first the distillate. Let's prove talaga kung sakto bigit siya ha. Una lang natin i-prove ang overall. Okay, so distillate. Patay ko ani ron. Okay? Distillate, so 1744. Okay, computing for the distillate. So distillate plus 62.8 pila siya. So distillate, and let's do analysis at siya ha. Na after makuha na to ang ganun siya, dako na gani kaayo, o go to the theory and concepts. Okay? Ako sa unang motion akong gibuhat, mag-theory and concept dayon ko kung dako na kaayo, kung kamera kaayo. Doon yung dako kay ni oy, go back dayon. Unsa man to akong gipasok diri ari? Ganon. Nya, pencil man ang gamiton. Okay? So 1744 okay, minus 62.8. Okay. Tinuod siya, dako ra siya. Pero let's analyze ha asa atong gamiton ani. Okay? Ana man jud na. Bubita wild imagination, di ba? 1744. Gawas ko ako na jud i-solve tanan daano. If I solve looking the solution in the in my source, then it is very easy for me to go directly. Okay? But I don't do that. Okay, that's why. Minus. And after this, I will compare to the answer, the real answer there. That's the style. Okay? So, or else, if I will prepare everything, then perfect. There's no such like this anymore. And then, oh, I go directly to this, like this, it is patterned already. Ganun. Diba? But I don't like that. So, 1681.2. Okay. So, our distillate here, guys. Asan man to, uy? So, our distillate having the condition is equal to 828.7 kilogram per hour. Our distillate, considering the katong condition, katong diretso nga OMB, is 1,608.2. Of the two, which is correct? So now let's do the analysis for this. Okay, like this. Okay. Magkadugay sa ani oy, kapoy bi ani. Okay. Okay, now, the distillate we obtain in the overall material balance, what happened? This is very close to the feed, right? Which is impossible. Why? Because, ako rin ha? Because, 17 na good siya dahan ng feed. Ay kung inang vapor, gamay na lang kaayo. Ang distillate, taas ka. Diba? Mantag 100% efficient siya or 70-80% ang mga mole fraction na mo close with ka aning 1.6 o 1.7. That's the first analysis. Okay? Or else your percentages of the mass fraction of the benzene must also be higher. Let's say 80%. Good higher ang imong kuan distillates. Kuan ra gud imong distillate diri o. Okay, mga pila man to oy. Tulo ka. Kuan ra gud siya. 0.45 ra sa feed. Oh. Ang sa distillate, kuan ra siya, gamay ra gid kaayo siya. So dili siya perfect ba? Na ang D na to is 88.7. Magpili ka ng duha. Now, if the problems in the question in the future examination are multiple choice, you can evaluate which is more closer to the choices. Okay? Then, the more closer, choose that as an answer. Okay. The only problem for that, guys, if there is the two have also closer there in the choices, and you cannot escape. Now, look for the exact number. Maybe there's an exact number there. So, choose that answer. Okay? Now, if too far, choose none of the above. Okay? If too far and nothing there, so choose none of the... I have a lot of none of the above also in the examination before, in the board examination. Okay? Like that. So, none of the above, choose that. Sometimes also, in theory questions, there's also A and B only, like that. A and B and C, like that. A, B, D, all of the above. So, like that. So, ilibog-libog juga ba? Okay, so, ikaw na bahala na, okay. Basta mo na siyang pasabot. So, kung imo, feel jud mo nga, murag, prihor-hor tanan, so, go to the all of the above. Okay, kay murag kwaki ra kayo, hindi pa jud apil ang usa. For example, A, B, C, D, E, ang letter B o letter C, ano siya? A, B, and C only. D, A, B, C, and D only. E, all of the above. Ito na lang ka sa all of the above sa kaya hapit na tanang yaw-yaw. Okay? You got the point? Sa theory na siya, okay? But in here, sa problem solving, asa ang pinaka-close mo? Wala sa gapon, none of the above yung answer. Imposible sa problem solving ang all of the above. Okay? It's always none of the above or closer to the value. By in here, dalawa siya answer. So, imo siyang i-evaluate sa imong problem mo, diri-ari, na 0.45, rabaya ang benzene ang nisud sa product. Okay, nga, dool day kayo imong distillate. So, 90% to 100% efficient day imong distillation unit. In which, impossible. Okay? Impossible dyan kayo nga ang imong overall efficiency sa distillation unit is 80% up. Not like that. Okay? So, meaning to say, we go to the D8 to 8.7 kg per hour. Okay? Muna siya ang imong gamiton sa pag-compute sa D. Or, another also instance, kay component balance man siya, no? Okay, ato sa kasa mo compute sa kasa atong i-minus gid mo din. So 1744, okay, minus 0.62.8 mo. Bitaw ni siya, no? Umo naman ni siya, sayop ni siya. Dili sayop, depende na sa kwantan. Amo na tong answer diri ari ha, kana man siya answer. Okay? Umo na atong dag-anan. Kaloka. Okay, where's the answer? Taran! Ang answer kay 829 kg per hour. So, arita sa kanisya, ito 8.7, kay round up naman niya, ito 9 man siya. So, arita sa letter D. Ang arita sa kanin, ito 8.7 kg per hour. Almost close man good siya. Point something lang, round off. So, ang answer is 829 sa choices. Okay? Letter C siya sa choices mo. But 829 siya, kg per hour distillate. So, arita sa 828. Katong ay conditions. Okay? Like this. This is the correct answer, letter D. Or else, another reason for it also, or else the conditions, if you will not account that one, so what's the purpose of the conditions in the problem? Right? So we will never use the equation 1, we will use the equation 2. Okay? You get the point? Ganun siya. Okay? Now, kung i-add po mo ang ang distillate, okay naman siya, makuha na magyapon na siya. Good. Now, kung mugamit ta atong usa nga, dili ta mag-involve og condition atong gamiton to, ha? Ngayon naman equation 2. 3 possible man siya. Mugamit ta sa condition, mugamit ta without condition, and mugamit ta sa overall material balance, wala siya condition. Okay? Hindi man mo pwede mabuhatan good sa kanang actual na examination, kay time limited lagi siya. Okay? May tag-bright kay tagpuan, IQ. Igo na po na itong IQ ba? Luka eh. Diba? Kaya kung taas yun IQ, no need mo na mag-possibilities pa. You know the point? If your IQ is very high, no need to look for possibilities. One try, you are confident enough because your mathematical ability and analytical thinking or IQ is very high. But for me, it's not like that. Okay? I don't have a high intelligence quotient for problem solving. I cannot guarantee. But for theorist concepts, I have. right? But this problem solving, dali ko maglibog. So I have to look for possibilities and probabilities to go to the other alternative, second alternative, third alternative, because I cannot get directly what the problem being asked. Really, this is my weakness in problem solving. Okay? I have to tell you the truth. Kaloka. Okay, now we go to the other one ha, katong na yung mga DD. Asa naman ito yung mga DD? Uy. Okay, kani, sige. Okay. Kani siya, equation 1, i-compute na to ang W ani niya. So, W is equals to 1744 minus D. So, this is now equation number 3. Okay? Nagisulisod lang ko no, pero mo man ako maabot sa utok, di mo ko makadiretso. Right? So, di ba sa nakupugson nga mo, diretso judayon ko, kay di man ko kaya hanas ani good. Okay? So, distillate plus W is equals to 1744. So, if we solve for W, is equals to 1744 minus distillate. So, 1744 minus distillate, equation number 3. The more you add another equation, you continue the numbering ha. In algebra, anak mo siya, equation 2, equation 3, equation 4, equation 5, equation 6. Isunod-sunod na yun nimo, matrack na nimo, asa yung equation gamiton. Okay? Like that. So, W is equals to 1774 minus the equation number 3, daraa. Okay? I'm using Bisaya and English. Okay? Because I'm a Cebuano. I'm a pure Bisaya. Okay? Like that. Okay, so the bottom product W, sorry for my international audience and viewers. Okay, I use a lot of Bisaya na talaga. Okay, you cannot understand sometimes, right? Just look for the equations. So, not full English. Okay, so bottom product or condensate is equals to 1744 minus distillate. And we have now that this equation, treat this as equation number 3. Now, substitute this equation number 3 to the equation component balance. Okay, in here. Okay, equation number 2. Because in the component balance, there's also value of W. And you can solve for D and W na. Because in algebra, two quantities or two unknowns needs also two equations. That's a basic technique and strategy. Two equations needed for two unknowns. Three equations needed for three unknowns. Unless there are constants that can be found in the tables, paragraphs, in the handbooks, like that. And most of the constants are at standard temperature. But in here, in distillation, we don't consider that. Because again, by three assumptions of the McCabe-Thiele method, okay, heat of vaporization is always negligible and 0. The heat of mixing and the heat loss is also 0. That's why there's a reflux to go back to the distillation unit so that there will be no wastage of your distillate. Right? And that's why we have a reboiler to go back the vapor to be as our condensate. Right? So there's no loss, or else our overall material balance have recovery. Okay? Our overall material balance, another equation will be used if we have losses. Right? So if I will draw here, the losses will be another also. So it will contribute. So it will become feed is equals to D plus W minus L, which is the losses. But here, the losses is 0. So that's why we don't put L or the recovery in our overall material balance. The accurate overall material balance is always like this. The feed is equals to the recovery, okay, plus the output. Okay, the recovery meaning you have to recover your loss. That's why the term is recovery. Do not confuse, sir, why R? That's recovery, meaning the losses you recover in your balances so that you can produce your useful products out of your raw materials. Okay, so now in here, 0 losses, so there's no recovery. Okay, so that's why we treat that as 0 automatically. Okay, in the overall material balance, this will be applicable to all. Just like also in physics, in the in treating work. Diba, work is equals to force times distance, and work is equals to force times distance cosine theta. Kung mag-involve na siya great triangle sa Pythagoras theorem, na mag-incline na ang surface ba, masaka dito ang block. moving of the ball or a block in an inclined manner, your computation of work in that in physics will be no longer the same as work is equals to force on distance plainly. You have to add the angle of inclination theta theta. Ganon, tangent theta, cosine theta, and you can understand that through the right triangle of the Pythagorean theorem. Okay? So that is mainly on the physics. Na maingon ta nga mechanical energy 1 is equals to mechanical energy 2. Mechanical energy 1 at point 1 will be in equilibrium to the mechanical energy. Kung makasabot yung ka, makuha rin yun mo. Okay, mechanical energy 1 is equals to potential energy plus kinetic energy plus the losses. The losses there, guys, is friction. Fractional losses. In here, it's not fraction. Why? Because the vapor will escape. There's no fraction. You should know the theory. That's why we don't term the losses here as fraction loss because there's no fraction when the vapor evaporate. Okay, that's lighter. That only be involved in the path, in the surface, in the ground. There's a solid surface, but there's no solid surface here, so we will never term fraction loss here. We will term that as recovery or the losses of the energy, which is usually the heat energy loss, the heat of mixing, the heat of vaporization, the latent heat of condensation. That's why in this distillation, we treat this as constants all chuva chucho. That's why this is a perfect material balance. In reality, this is difficult because we have wastage in reality. That's why we have a vent. Okay, in the processes, if you're working in an industries, me, I'm working in the SABIC affiliates before in the Saudi Aramco, we will discover that points to points, there are a lot of vent, VANT, to the steam or vapor to escape in the atmosphere. Meaning to say, there's losses. This is theoretical only because this is only for the purpose of understanding. That's why we study. But in the real world, there's always losses involved. Could either be minimal, but what I'm telling you, there's losses. And that's why we have also drain, DRAIN, sa mga pipeline. Because that is also for the liquids. Right? Liquid and vapor sa atong pipeline. Okay. Usually, water will have a vapor or steam and a liquid somewhere along the way in the process during momentum transfer, fluid flow in a real world as a process engineer, something like that. You have to know that. And me before, since I am a safety engineer, I also know that because I'm a chemical engineer. So is it really easy for me to connect my profession as a chemical engineer to my profession as a safety engineer because I understand the parameters, something like that, or the operating condition, work equipment, the chemicals, in the chemistry in there. So I can easily, find out, oh, what's the problem for this? Okay, so it's very easy for me to detect the abnormality because I have the knowledge being a chemical engineer apart from being a safety engineer. So very useful yung kurso ko sa being a safety engineer. That's why the SABIC affiliates and Saudi Aramco, they will prefer a chemical engineer to be their safety engineer because there's a knowledge in process. That's why sometimes also I can act as a process safety engineer. Okay? And sometimes a safety engineer only. There's a difference between a process safety engineer and a safety engineer because a process safety engineer will be concentrating on the losses, on the energy, wastage, and the amount of the feed and the raw material, the safety on the equipment itself. Okay, not the people, not to the environment, on the equipment, the operability safety of the equipment and the technology used in the physical and chemical separation processes in there. Okay, but the safety engineer is a general. Muna siya katong mga PPE, pero kanang process safety engineer, process ra gyud siya, guys. So sometimes I can act as a process safety engineer and I can act also as a general safety engineer, covering katong mga ergonomics, mga slip trip and fall, katong mga kabuuan na ba? Just like now, kabuuan. Okay, because we don't have process safety engineer here. Okay, like that. So because we don't have also so many complex equipment. Our equipment is just mga rotating, ganun lang siya. Because our product is a solid, bulky solid. So it's not really gas also. But if I am working in the petroleum, just what I told you now, in the petrochemical product, na siya mga gas ang mga petroleum. Okay, so the release of gas, the gas leak is very important for us. That's why we need to act as a process safety engineer sometimes. Okay, the losses of the gases in the atmosphere, because if you cannot control that one, it will explode, and then the whole plant will be damaging, a lot of losses. And as a safety engineer, or specifically the process safety engineer, I will act also like that. Okay, marok kayo ang company, they don't hire a separate process safety engineer, because the one they hired can also act as a process safety engineer. So that's their strategy to save money. You can do multitasking. Okay, so maro sa jud kayo, di ba? Okay, so di na nato ma-question. Okay, so I can act both as a process safety engineer and as a general safety engineer, meaning overall. Because the process safety engineer will focus only on the process. But the overall general safety engineer will focus everything from PPE, from working at height, confined space, excavation, like that, blah, 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 chuva, chuchu. Okay? But for the process, nindot kayo, process na gyud siya. Wow. Okay? At rin ka mo focus sa chemistry sa process, effects niya sa mga kuan, mga equipment nga sa environment, di ba siya bubuto, ang inyong kuan, yung equipment, imong timan-an ba sa yung mga maximum limits niya, sa iyang flow, okay, mga temperature, mga pressure, mga volumetric flow rate, kanina akong ipangtudlo ninyo, mo ni siya, ang i-consider dito sa being a process safety engineer. Okay, can be mga temperature, volumetric flow rate, mass flow rate, density, specific gravity, the speed of the gas, the velocity of the gas, the acceleration of the gas, all. Okay, not limited only to that. Okay, but not really complex, the same as chemical engineering. But what I mean, magamit na ako siya being a process safety engineer kaning mga akong ipang kuan sa inyong sa akong vlogging. Okay, magamit na ako siya pati yung mga kuan, density of the elevation, how to compute to make the water goes up, it needs this certain pressure. So imo din gamiton ang Bernoulli equation, katong pressure elevation formula. Ganun ba? O kinetic energy po. Magamit gud siya guys. Oy, really. That's why the most of the company mga worldwide a very standard company will hire really a process safety engineer that is also a chemical engineer. Okay? Because we are well versed in the processes manggod siya sa chemistry, sa mga solid, liquid, and gases. Advantage ginanamo siya nga area. Okay? Like that. So it depends on the person also, ha, because there's also other engineers can do what a chemical engineer do. But usually, preferable lang siya. Preferable. Okay? I'm not saying maujud ang dawaton. I'm saying preferably, a chemical engineer must be a process safety engineer. Okay? Like that. So, di na to i-discriminate. So, this is only disclaimer. It depends on the employer choice during the experience, the skills like that. But generally, it would be the expertise and the masterpiece of chemical engineer. Okay? When we talk about the process. Okay? Like that. Or else, it machines and equipment that will be the expertise of mechanical engineers also. We cannot steal that. Things like that. You know my point? Specialization. Okay? So, you know what I mean. Okay, so now we are going now W. The W, we will substitute that in the equation here with having a component. Okay, makalingaw yun ang kuando, ang mathematics and chemistry. Okay, di ko pull-an. Okay, basta you understand, di ba? Muna siya may tabo. So 784.8. Yung masab ko yung mga anak, masab ko yung mga kuan. So ako'y pamilya, so mo devote sa kuan iba, no? Di ba? Para mawa ang homesick, ganun. Di ba? Kung gawas sa kuan, Riyadh. Sa muna diha. Okay? Is equals to 784.8. Mura ni taon ni akong outlet sa kuan to remove and eliminate my homesickness, my sadness, my loneliness. I do vlogging, I do singing. Mura gyud siya taon, guys. Okay? 784.8 is equals to 0.9415 times D. Okay? Ganon. Dayon, unsa may value nimo sa kuan? 5.024. I-substitute nimo ang value sa D. Maparihan na siya quantities, di ba? Is equals to 0.9415 times 1744 minus D plus 5.024. So pila imong distillate oil? Charot oil. 0.9415 times 1744 is equals to, di ba ko ganun ng distillation? Because my favorite talaga ang heat transfer. 1641 1641.976. Okay. Now, to tell you honestly, just at presently, I love chemical reaction kinetics because I further understand na talaga siya. But before, when I was in college, hate na ko ang chemical reaction kinetics. Hindi ko kasabot. When I do a lot of research with my stock knowledge and acquired knowledge in college, oh, this is gonna be like this, okay? So, oh, I create interest and I love now chemical reaction engineering, reaction kinetics. Okay? But before really in my college, I love heat transfer. Okay? Transport phenomena gid akong gusto. Okay? Sa unit operations. Okay, so 160, I don't like distillation in fact. Okay? 0.94. Gana-gana ba na usahay, no? 0.9415 D. Ipaawit ni mong tuon kung di ka ganahan. Really? 5.024 is equals to 784.8. Unahon siya ni mong tuon kato yung paborito. Really? When I was in college. Okay? So, muli matabo 784.8. Okay, ganon. Transpose na yun ka guys, ha? Okay? Is equals to 784 transpose na yun 0.8 plus 5.024, diba? Ana siya, no? Kaya mo may tabo. So, imo din i-minus na yun yung 5.024 kaya ito naman na siya dito sa kilid-kilid. Oh, i-minus din mo siya. I-minus din mo siya ang 1641.976. Okay? Kung ano kayo ni siya, kanang high school kayo siya nga mathematics, no? Okay? Like this. But I will advise you guys, even though how simple and how easy is that, you need to solve it properly. Okay? Because what others doing, if that is very easy, and that is very, easy to solve, they don't care anymore. But guys, there's a lot of questions in the board examination or future examination that are not difficult. Okay? So, the chance is you will take for granted because it is easy, then you will miss something because you focus on the difficult. Okay, and then there's so many difficult in the examination. Only out of 100, only 5 like this. If you divide 5 over 100, pila na siya ka percentage. Bisag marunong pa kag 5, budaog na tong uban, usaka jud imong score. Then focus naman ka sa difficult, maglibog dayon ka ang mga sign na kaayo. Tanda yon, naruong na noon ka. Okay? Because you take for granted baya ka. Okay? Muna siya inyong buhaton ha, ay mo pag-take for granted. Ganun siya. Okay? So, 784. Even though how easy, just solve it. 784.8 minus 5.024. Okay? 784.8 minus 5.024 minus 1641.976 equals to divided by 0.9415. 950 ng atong distillate. At least almost closer siya. Okay, sa atong 820, di ba? It makes sense na sa good siya. Okay? So, 915.8 kilogram per hour. Ang answer sa choices sa kuha na kay katod yung nauna na tug solve itong mga condition 829 kaya nakakuha mo kung 88.7 i-round up na nimo 829 so correct siya. Ang what I did guys is looking for other possibilities because there's a lot of variable na makuha mong ganoon siya na good. So what if marong di ka permiro? Good lang kung makuha din nimo dito, di ba? Okay? So just like this, okay? So 828.7 is my second attempt. Okay, and this is the close to the answer, which is 8 to 9 kilogram per hour with our distillate. We get the distillate. The bottom is correct already. It's being asked also. Okay, and then we have the feed. Actually, all is being computed talaga siya. That's why it take a longer time because we solve for the feed mass flow rate. We solve for the distillate mass flow rate. We solve also for the bottom product condensate mass flow rate. So we solve the 3. Okay? Then what if the question also will ask, what is the overall efficiency of your distillation unit? How can you do this? Let's add something. Well, imagination na siya. So, what if your efficiency of distillation unit is 45%? Okay? So, it has to do something with the stages. Theoretical stages over the actual stages. How can you do that? So, use the McCabe-Field method graph. Okay? Just to do that. So, yung makuha ni anong higayuna is always the theoretical plates. And then you have the actual plates. Makuha din yung mga actual plates. And then, imo na sa ibalik o compute, okay? Makuha na sa nimo ang kuan. Ang actual plate, right? Kinakuha naman nimo ang naman kay overall efficiency. Ratio man siya. Ratio, di ba, I discussed a while ago. If ratio, same quantity. Plates, numerator. Stage ang numerator. Stage sad ang denominator. Kay ratio man siya, no unit. Diba? Consistent din atong understanding in that. Okay, now, we have the percentage efficiency kay gihatag man assuming lang nag-wild imagination ta atong gipunan ang problem ba. Diingon din ko nga, what if the distillation unit is 45% efficiency? What is the actual number of stages needed? Diba? So, use the McCabe-Field method, plotting of the rectifying line or the upper operating line, plotting of the feed line or the flashing zone line, and the plotting of bottom operating line, and the condensate line and the stripping line. And then, make the connection in the intersection in the equilibrium line, which is the curve. And we can have that curve by having the plotting of the vapor and liquid concentrations in the y-axis, vapor. Okay, and sorry, on y-axis is the, vapor, and then x-axis is liquid. Liquid man yun natong basis kay distillation, focus na sa distillate from the word itself. Distillation, distillate, then liquid. Okay, so mo-focus na dito sa x-axis na liquid, dili ang vapor sa y. Okay, mo man akong timan ang permi ko. Kung sa ganito ang ma-term sa topic, maudyot to siya permi ang iyang importance. For example, distillation. So, the distillate is very important from the word itself. So, we focus on the distillate. So, the distillate is the liquid. That's why, maotong i-plot-plot permi. Now, kung ato sa extraction, so the extract is also the important because it is coming from the word extraction, ang extract. So focus po ka sa extract. Dili kas katong mga sa taas. Ato sa katong mga ni settle. Kay extraction man ni settle sa ubos. Kay high molecular weight or high density bugat man siya mo settle sa ubos. Okay? Or bisan liquid siya, mo settle siya sa ubos kung extraction ang hisugutan kay solubility magud siya. Okay? Ganon? Okay. Okay. Na-compute na ito tanan. Okay. Na-compute. Mass fraction of benzene in the bottom product. Saan man siya? Mass fraction of benzene in the bottom product. Okay. Benzene. Katuloy pa 0.8 man siya. Katong having the condition. Okay. So, ibalik na po din na ito. Luka, nakatong na kondisyon. So, I say, 1744 times 0.45 is equal to the distillate atong nakuha nga. Morning 28 times 0.9415. Okay, nakatong na kondisyon. Plus, the bottom product na W niya. Ang atong ipare sa bottom product, mao man siya ang mass fraction sa bottom product ang ipangita. Mao na siya atong XW na bag-o with condition. Katong primero na to, wa man to'y condition katong 0.008 ang gigamit. Itong natural ra siya ba sa equation na mao gyud ang standard sa tanang equation sa distillation. Kaya natabo man lang gud ni siya guys because there's a condition. Kung wala pa lang gyud siya kaning word na mao ni siya kaning 8% mass of the benzene feed to the column, wa pa lang gyud siya nga sentence, wa gyud siya problema. Katulad yung original atong gamiton. Ni condition pa man sa nang syukoy, mo na siya nga hitabo. Okay? So, we need to go back again and you can solve for the mass fraction. So, kamo na lang guys ha. Kapoy na kayo. In fairness. Wow, Bisaya. Bisaya plus English. Okay? So, the mass fraction here is very easy to compute already. You have the distillate, you have the bottom product, we have the feed. Now, compute for the XW, accounting the conditions in the problem now. Okay? Then, bingo, you can solve. Okay, the XW. I don't have to ano na kasi ano na, I'm tired. Charot! Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for listening for this vlog live streaming regarding Chemical Engineering Board Examination May 1996 regarding distillation. Thank you so much for watching. This is again, I am a singer, Eternal Voice. Bye-bye. God bless everybody. Have a nice day. Charot. Okay. Before I say goodbye, if you want to click the notification bell, go ahead. And if you don't, it's okay also. And please subscribe my YT channel. You have the full freedom to do so. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, guys, everybody. Oh my gosh. Kaloka ha.